Those Were the Days is filmed before a live internet audience.
To Those Were the Days. It's a show about old TV, and we're here talking about it. We are wrapping up. Wow, right out of my head. What are we doing? What are these called?
Game shows.
That's the word. We're wrapping up game shows with one in which our contestants today are going to be competing in feats of physical ability, the ability to listen, some childhood trauma, and a bit of cultural appropriation. I will be your host, Amy, and I am joined by our competitors from the Blue Barracudas. It's Steven.
Yes, I'm here in the backstage getting ready. Oh, I need water shoes? Water shoes. Okay, check. Knee pads. All right, knee pads. Check. I need a helmet. Okay, great. Safety first. Wait, a bike guard too? Okay, y'all, let's do this. I'm going to go out there on stage. I'm going to do it. So I'm out there, and I'm ready to jump in, and I'm all ready, and snap. I fell off the diving board, and now I'm in the water. And wait, everybody just beat me? Everybody's done already? And I got to take all this crap off? I'm soaked? What is going on? This was the worst day out ever. Thanks, Mom.
From the Purple Parrots, it's Audie.
Okay, kids, so you got far enough just to get the $50 savings bond. Nope. The candy company is just paying for them. You don't get any of the actual candy. Now look, a savings bond is super cool. In like 20 years, you'll have double your money guaranteed. Even better. If you don't cash it in right at that 20 years, it'll still earn an extra 3.5% for another 10 years. How cool is that? Yeah, not as cool as the candy, or the moon shoes, or the cassette player, or the bike. Well, do better next time crossing that moat.
And from the Green Monkeys, it's Travis.
I went to journalism school for like 3.5 years. I've been in theater since I was in kindergarten, and here I am standing on the stage talking to a foam rubber face and telling these kids the most useless of historical facts. What has happened to my life?
It's okay, Kirk. It'll be all right. That's right, everybody. It's everyone's favorite childhood trauma. It's Legends of the Hidden Temple. I loved this show. And this must be one of those shows, right? Because this was like a Nickelodeon show. And so this must have been one of those ones I watched at my best friend Doug's house because we did not have cable. So that was like a whole thing. It ran from 1993 to 1995. And yeah, and they did bring it back a little bit. They tried. It's not good. So, I want to do you guys remember Legends of the Hidden Temple, Steven?
Yes, I remember Legends. You said we were doing Legends of the Hidden Temple. I'm like, this is a touchstone of my childhood of sitting around and watching Legends of the Hidden Temple and always being so frustrated with all the kids and I could totally answer that question. What is going on? I found myself in the same space on the couch yesterday yelling at the kids who just hit the button. You can think of the answer in a second. Like, I know you've got it. Just slam it as fast as you can and then think. They give you like 5 seconds.
Oh, sure.
Do it. But the Purple Parrots just let me down left and right.
They did not look good there.
No, it was bad luck. Yeah.
How about you, Audie?
This is one I did not watch, but I knew about, just kind of, culturally. I mean, it was hard not to know about it, whether you watched it or not. And I've seen stuff here and there and bits and pieces of it, especially now at this point. So it was fun to actually watch a whole episode and see what the whole thing really was about.
I feel like this was one of those playground things, we're gonna let's go.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna tie this rope to you. You tie this rope to me, and we're gonna climb over the monkey bars.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally safe.
Yes. Travis.
I do remember the show. I forgot that it was as old as it was, 93 to
Mhm.
95. For some
Yeah.
reason, like my memory of it was when I was a few years older than that, but for some
Mhm.
reason still watching it. But I definitely do remember it, and much like you, Stephen, yelling at the kids like, "How do you not, how are you not getting this monkey put together? Like the silver monkey's not that hard. What's wrong with you? It's
That's
three
because you don't
pieces."
have the existential fear of being grabbed at any moment.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, watching this episode back and seeing the Temple Guardians.
We'll get there.
Whew.
This was a show that I always wanted to like. I always thought that this would be my show, right? Like when I was a kid, I was like, yes. And now I'm watching it. I'm like, this is all like I would not have got past that first part. I'd be sitting there today waiting for my my savings bond to mature. The good news is
Yup.
that those kids that we watched lose, they should just about be able to cash in that savings bond.
That's
So
true.
that'll be sweet. I have some from my aunt from when I was little that I do have sitting in a drawer just waiting. Any day now.
It's gonna be
Rainy
the
day, we're gonna
time.
cash those in. It's gonna be great.
They're about to drop a new PlayStation.
Mhm.
Give them cash in the savings bond. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is hosted by Kirk Fogg.
Is that his
and,
real
I mean,
name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I wasn't
that's
sure if he
his
was
name.
playing a character.
And he's great. I mean, I feel like he falls into that category of Nickelodeon game show hosts of the time. You know what I mean? Like he just
Mhm.
you could swap them all about and it
Mhm.
would be fine.
Yeah, if they weren't Mark Summers, they were
Yeah.
interchangeable.
Mhm.
Yeah. The only thing I remember about Mark Summers is when he came out that he has OCD and that his wife caught him combing the fringe on his rug one
Why
night.
does that's the only thing anyone ever
That's-
remembers about him? Like that's
what's well, and so
Yeah.
it's the fact that he did like super sloppy double dare was like a big deal
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah,
because
and
that was
he's
really hard.
incredibly, yeah.
Yeah. But it's the combing of the rug. Like no one thinks
Yeah,
about the other
it's
OCD
very
instance
specific.
he ever would have talked about. It's just everyone goes, "Oh, that's the dude that combed the fringes on the rug at night at like 2 a.m."
Yeah.
I don't know. Everyone watched the same Dateline commercial or whatever it was where they were going to
Probably.
talk about him.
I mean, you're gonna remember the weirdest thing about somebody.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 2020 tonight. Mark Summers combing rugs. I'm like, what? It just sticks in your head. Never watched the actual interview, but here we are.
Yeah.
And I will say about the host of this show, my intro was kind of poking fun at it. He seemed a little Alex Trebek in Classic
Yeah.
Concentration.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? It looked like he was great with the kids. Like as soon as he would cut
Mhm.
his mic, he would
Mhm.
turn to the kids and be talking to them. But then like anytime he was addressing camera, it was just there was this existential dread of like, what have I done with my life? Why am I here?
I get the feeling that this particular episode was maybe like number 4 of the day. And so we're
Yeah.
just, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're just getting through it at this
Mhm.
point. We're trying.
And this is
But
3
here we are.
seasons. I mean, this is season 3, episode 16. He's coming to the tail end of his contract anyway.
Yeah.
This is probably
Yeah.
not his best work. I would love to go back
Yeah.
and look at episode 2 and like look at Kirk Fogg crushing it.
Look at him.
Young and
And then
bushy-tailed.
arguably the more interesting host, I guess, of the show is Olmec, who voiced by D. Bradley Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You know D. Bradley Baker, even if you think you don't know D. Bradley Baker. He is Klaus from American Dad. He is all of the Bad Batch.
He's all the
Just-
clones. Period.
Yeah. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
Effectively, if it's animated and it's an animal sound, it's a 50-50 chance it's D. Bradley Baker doing it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
Yeah.
it's either him or Frank Welker that do
Yeah.
like all of the animal sounds and everything animated for the last 100 years.
Yeah. He
It's
did a bunch of
amazing.
SpongeBob stuff, but everybody's done a bunch of SpongeBob stuff. Yeah, so he's a big deal, and he is Olmec, the Mayan temple god, I guess. I don't. It's all a little shady as a grown up. You go,
They didn't have
I
that in the
don't know about
wiki.
any of this.
Olmec's backstory.
They probably do, actually, and I neglected to look up Olmec's whole backstory as to how he wound up here in the temple.
Probably got to watch the
Quizzing
movie.
children.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forgot there was a movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a
Mhm.
movie. I almost watched it, but I didn't have time.
It's madness.
Alright. I'm
I
in.
can't.
I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm watching it. Hey, watch
Yeah.
party on Two Dorks TV. Coming soon.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go. So the standard episode had it was 4 parts. The first round is the moat, which, as Stephen discussed in his intro, you got to swing across this little swimming pool, and sometimes you got to like climb up a rope net, and like this is where it would all fall apart for me. I would like that's it, game over. I remember trying to do the rope in gym class. I was not good at it, and so I don't know why I thought it's just so when we get to round 2, the steps of knowledge, that I knew that I could crush it. And so they the beautiful thing about this is that like it's just about listening, because
Yeah.
Olmec tells you basically everything you need to know.
Right.
And if you just listen, you can get through. And then like the extra questions that come at the end are
The really generic version where they're like,
Yeah.
well, we asked every question we could from the
what do
story.
you call a
What's
spider?
a spider?
Yeah. And so we go from 6 to 4 teams at the moat, and we go from 4 to 2 at the steps of knowledge. The final 2 teams compete for the life pendants parts of during the temple games. And this is an assortment of games, and we will talk about the specific ones that we did. And it followed, it ended with the winning team going on the temple run, which was the best part. It was the best part. This is the aggro crag. This is like the thing at the end of the American Gladiator. Like this is the good part.
Yep.
I was tempted to find one where they succeeded.
Yeah.
But they lost so spectacular. Like it was so good that I did stick with this one.
I was
This one
so
was really
mad
pretty.
through the. I know we'll get to it, but I was so
yeah.
mad during the whole temple run. Like, what? You didn't even listen to the first instruction. What are you doing?
Mhm.
Furious.
Mm-hmm.
You need every second to get through that.
Yeah.
You have to make every right move, and if you don't
You
get
have to
the
make
second
every
pendant,
correct decision.
then you're
Yeah.
toast anyway.
Absolutely. The temple is 12 themed rooms. They all have some sort of puzzle or challenge, and there are temple guardians who are adults in masks, and they're very scary.
Yeah.
Especially in this so exceptionally well lit temple. Oh wait, no, I mean
Oh,
Absolute
yeah.
garbage.
It's just
So
kids running
bad.
around in the dark getting grabbed by adults.
Home
now,
Depot
here's-
flood lamps everywhere.
Here's the thing that
Yup.
here's the question, right? Because there are 3 temple guardians, is what they say. That there are 3 temple guardians. And so my thought was that they were gonna like, no problem, we got that. No, I just couldn't make it because he didn't pick up the piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, skipped it.
All right,
So
so
mad.
the episode we did is the Golden Spiderweb of Robert the Bruce, which the telling of this story from Olmec has some of the worst Scottish accent I've ever heard. I don't know what we were doing there, but it
Yeah,
was
it
not
is.
good.
It is the second worst Scottish accent I have ever heard.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
worst
and
Scottish
that's not
accent
even the
you've
worst
ever
part of the story.
heard. Yeah,
The
you're right.
worst. The worst is Alton Brown in his episode of Good Eats where they made haggis.
Okay.
But he admits to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we learn the basic story. King of Scotland deposed by the English. He goes into hiding. He sees a spider in the peasant hut in which he is hiding. He says, well, it tries to build a web twice, and he goes, well, if he does it on the 3rd try, I will rally my armies and take back Scotland. And it does, and he does, and victory.
Is that
Good job,
true?
We're going
Charlotte.
after
Is
the
that a true
golden
story?
web.
I question its
I mean-
validity.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1306, so you know, every story's real if it comes from 1306.
Sure.
I mean,
I'll
he
just
was
let him.
he was a deposed king of Scotland.
That I knew. It's the whole
So, I
the
mean, like,
spider
that
story that I was not
Yeah.
convinced. I'm like, it sounds like a
Yeah,
pub story. You know what Robert the
Yeah.
Bruce told me? You know, there's the first Scottish accent that you hate was from
Yeah,
me just
no,
now.
it's good.
Yeah.
I just remember having a professor in college who was related, however long ago, to Robert the Bruce and hated the movie Braveheart because of the way they portrayed him.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
Amazing.
did it dirty. It's like, okay.
All right. Well, I mean, portrayed very well here in
Mhm.
Legends.
Oh
of
yeah,
the
Mhm.
Temple.
masterfully done.
Right.
So this episode would have caused me trouble if this had been the episode that I managed to get on, because we got a lot of spider theme, and that would
Mm,
have been a problem for me.
that's what bugged me, I think, more than
Um,
anything. Was they
yeah.
started doing spider stuff, and I was like, oh, I'd be out. I
Yeah,
would just take myself right out of that. Like spiders?
gotta go. I'm
No.
out. So the silver snakes and the green monkeys advance through these steps of knowledge to the temple games. Fantastic. Poor purple penguins, good. Purple parrots did not make it off the top step.
They didn't even try to make it off the
They
top.
did-
They just stood
they
there
did
looking
not.
at each other. Like, hit the button. You got all the way here. Like, you
You-
made it over the moat. Just, and they keep saying,
Just
purple
do
parents,
something.
you've got a chance to catch up. You've got a chance to catch up. Yeah, just hit the button.
I liked the part where it wound up. It was like the green monkeys had already gotten in. It's like the silver snakes and the red jaguars are both a step away, and he's like, oh, it could be either one of them,
Mhm.
or the purple parents could catch up.
Yeah.
No.
You don't
Maybe.
believe that.
Yeah, this show's only got 25
you don't
minutes, Kirk.
believe it.
We can't be going. But now the silver snakes, that girl was answering before the question was even finished, which is
Yeah.
like pro
Yeah.
moves.
They
She
were
knew
also the
answer.
ones that I forget. I think she came second, but they like dragged her. Like one of them
Yes.
dragged the other one out of the moat
Yes.
to make
Uh-huh.
it. Like
They were committed.
these kids were in it to win it.
I have issues with that moat, though. Can we go back to that for a second?
Yeah,
Because when
absolutely.
you swing across the moat as the first player, you're
Yeah.
dry. And you lift.
Yeah.
Luckily, you hit the fence, and you're also still dry. You climb over, and then you get wet. Your partner has to jump in the water and get the rope and climb back out, swing across,
Yes,
and now
not
you're
cool.
wet. And you're
I
in
think
those
the pro
1992
move-
water shoes. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I think the pro move would be when you swing over and catch the net. You gotta like hurl
Oh, you
that
throw
rope
it
back
back.
to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta like
Yes.
plan
Absolutely.
that ahead. You gotta strategize.
Yeah.
We would be so good at this, you guys. If I had any. of
Are they?
those.
Do the kids know each other when they're partnered up, or is it just
We don't
random?
know. We
No
don't
one
know.
knows.
Wouldn't that be
We,
fun?
we don't know, and they don't even get names until round 3.
Yeah.
They aren't even fortunate.
Did you
enough to
notice
have
that?
names.
They
Yeah.
didn't even have name tags until the 3rd round, and then they're like,
Yeah.
then they introduce them like, until that, you're just purple parrots and whatever.
We don't have
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
No, you
That'll-
don't have time.
Narrow it down so we can just tell you about a couple kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we are not asking them questions because we learned that the hard way on Carmen San Diego.
Oh,
Yup.
Don't
yeah.
let them talk. She wants to be an animator. Great. Fabulous. That's probably
Yeah.
why we're here at Nickelodeon Studios.
Mhm.
I like the idea of it being totally random, and then you're like mad that you're stuck with this deadweight kid that you just met, and and then you're in therapy about it for like 10 years. I
This
like
one
this
kid made me
idea a lot.
lose it. Made me lose my Nickelodeon one shot at fame because he couldn't climb a stupid rope.
This $50 savings bond. of
My partners,
shame.
they're just like the group work in college is equally sucky. So they're just
Yeah.
like my entire
Yeah.
life I've been followed around by boat anchors.
Mhm.
Oh goodness, yes. So yeah, so we finally we get to the temple games and we get to meet these children. We meet Christine, who does cheerleading and wants to be a teacher, and Jeremy, who plays soccer and enjoys writing on the Green Monkeys. And the Silver Snakes are Carolina, who plays soccer and wants to be an
Carolina.
animator.
Carolina, which everyone's gonna
Justin-
get wrong.
Justin, who plays football and wants to be an architect. And again, I want to know who, like, where are you now?
Right.
Child. How you doing? How's that
Are you
working
an
out?
architect?
Animator, huh? You looked around.
Did
You still
become
want
an
to do that?
animator? Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that a good idea? So our first game is Robert the Bruce's Castle, the trampoline net maze. So we do have like I believe there's like a series, like there's sets of games and we skin them with different themes. But these are all pretty good. There's a lot of climbing and nets and other webby type things that we've got. So they have to jump through this trampoline net maze, gather spiders, and then stick them on the web at the top. And Yeah, and then Jeremy screwed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
The
Mhm.
green
did.
monkeys. He did
You gotta
not
go
go through
through
the
the
center
webbing.
hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they sent him back. I like how many handlers are involved in this entire project, all in their safari gear. I feel like this is a real great thing. Real good. And
Well,
they're
I kind of feel like that was the evolution, right? Because it's sort of the opposite on Double Dare. Like you just had Mark
yeah.
Summers standing there watching everybody, and going through his head, it's like I ain't touching any of that.
New.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So it was just kids flopping and falling all over the place. So they went to the other end of the extreme and made
Yeah.
sure there were safari clad handlers at every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely
mean,
did
it's
feel like
not
a
bad.
theme
It's good.
park, like it
Yeah.
feels like Universal Studios stunt show or something, but with
sure.
Yep.
children.
Mhm.
That quality.
Untrained children.
Yeah.
So that puts these silver snakes up, a pendant of life. Next up, we have the colored spider web thing where they have to climb up a net, open a door, grab a spider, bring it back down, hook it on the correct color. The first person to match all their spiders or get the most in 60 seconds. 60 seconds on the clock. We said that a lot,
Yep.
a lot in this episode. Yeah, so the girls were on this round and they did that and Christine won that. I like how dramatic it was. Like we couldn't just see that there were 5 on one side, but we had to we're gonna count them.
Oh
We're
yeah.
gonna get in
Be
there.
sure and count.
Great. So now they're tied at half a pendant apiece. Now we have to escape Scotland. So this was the best, I feel like, of the
Yeah.
challenges. This was a good one. This
Mhm.
was some Ninja Warrior nonsense, but
Mhm.
on a team. And so you've got a climbing wall, you've got different obstacles on either side. And I suppose theoretically you're supposed to be talking to your partner. So like, oh, I gotta climb over this thing, hang on. But
Mhm.
did not go that way. It was just drag whoever's smaller on the other side of the
Uh-huh.
wall and hope you get through. So yeah, the green monkeys won that one, and that sends
Yep.
them to the temple run. So they've got 1.5 pendants. I know there was I think there were some times where like a game would be worth like a whole pendant, and that was a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Oh, yeah.
then
Oh, yeah.
you'd be all set. So the temple run. This is where it gets great and all falls apart simultaneously.
And is like
So-
almost half the episode because it takes that long to explain it.
Oh yeah.
So we've got to get through and find the golden spider web of Robert the Bruce hidden in Olmec's temple. Now, we know what room it is in. Because they do tell us at the beginning. I do not remember which one it was, but that's okay. It doesn't matter.
map symbols room, map
Oh yeah.
symbol button room. I can't just remember it had symbols or something involved.
So, yeah,
Chamber of the Sacred Markers.
yeah.
That's it. Sacred markers. I knew that. That's good,
So-
good job, Audie.
Here we go. The temple run. 12 rooms. Each has a theme, and a challenge, and there's doorways, and so you've got your 1.5 pendants going in. You can trade a pendant to a temple guard for an extra life, but if you are caught without a pendant, you are out, and the other person gets to run. It's a lot. So we do have to describe all of the rooms, and Kirk screws it up a lot for season 3. Like you have been doing this a lot, my dude. You
Yeah.
should definitely know by now. And they are not in any sort of logical order. There's a lot of up and down. And so the scariest part in this one. So the Shrine of the Silver Monkey is, I feel like, the one that everyone remembers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. There's a silver monkey statue. It is in 3 pieces. You have to put them together. Now, and there's a lot of yelling at children on TV to just put it together. Now, I will say that middle bit does look like it could go either way.
In
So I'll give 'em that
retrospect, watching that and being older and having, empathy I look at it and I go, okay, that is kind of just 3 chunky orbs slammed together.
While you're,
And
yeah.
while
And I
you're
mean, it's not like you're like someone is gonna hit a button when they think you've done it right. Like this
Yes.
is not setting off some complicated mechanism, which when you're 12, that's what you think is happening.
it's magic.
Someone is hitting a button and opening a door. Which is why they get away with screaming secret passwords with a mouth garden.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not the
It's like,
Rah, 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 rah.
sounded
Great,
right to me.
fabulous. But so the scariest one in this one. So it was the one with the armor.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, cool.
All
Uh-huh.
right. So you have to stand in the warrior's armor and pull down these handles and see which one opens the door. And there are 3 of them. And she gets in the armor and she pulls him down, and the temple guardian grabs her from behind, and the whole thing spins, and that would have ended my life.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably a good thing we didn't see her reaction because
Yeah.
It was not great. So you do get to smash pottery. That's a good
That's
part
cool.
in the king's storeroom.
Mhm.
So when Jeremy goes in, he has the opportunity to get the other half of his pendant, which would have saved him.
Mhm.
And then they could have won. It could have won the CD-ROM encyclopedia.
Yeah, that works on DOS, Windows, and Mac.
Yeah.
Mm.
Damn. And so he gets caught in this, like, in the pit, right? So he's like goes down a spiral slide in the dark into a pit of foam bricks, and there is a guard underneath, and he grabs him.
There's no hope.
Oh no.
Yeah.
How many of those temple guards got kicked in the balls, do you
Oh.
think, in
Oh,
the making
God.
of that show?
So
Had to
many.
be so many.
Like
to
just
be.
out of reaction from the kid, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know,
Yeah.
of no fault of the kid, just sort of a reaction of a large man
It's
just
like
leapt at
the
me from the dark, and I
Yeah.
kicked him and tried to run.
it's like the up close and like, because you hear that a lot from like haunted house workers,
Mhm.
right? They have a lot. That's this, but even like closer quarters.
Yeah, haunted
Mhm.
house
Also
people
on
aren't allowed to
TV.
touch you 99% of the
Well,
time.
now.
Yeah, now.
I mean,
but
1993. Who knows?
everybody was touching everybody. It was crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy out
Yeah.
there.
Oh, so yeah, so they didn't win the game,
Nope.
but they did win the Huffy bikes.
Got those all-terrain bikes.
They got the bikes. They didn't get the CD-ROM or the trip to, was it Bermuda?
Bahamas.
Bahamas.
Yeah. Did
Oh
they get
yeah,
the
we
moon?
didn't
That's
mention
resort.
that. So the that was the purple parrots and the red jaguars that lost on the steps of knowledge got moon shoes.
Moon shoes. I always
Moon
wanted those
shoes.
moon shoes largely because of this show and other
Yeah.
Nickelodeon shows where moon shoes were either used or advertised as a prize. I never got any moon shoes, but I knew a kid who had them, and they were terrible and stupid, and
Yep.
they did not work
I
like
would
the
have
commercials.
in not understanding what a savings bond was. That seems like, because that's just $50. That's $1993. That seems like a lot of money. And then moon shoes.
Yeah. I was like,
I
how
don't
much are
know.
those moon shoes? Like, could be the better thing after the $50.
More than I
savings
was
bond.
ever given because I never had moon shoes.
Sure.
Apparently they
Yeah.
cost a lot, or my parents also knew those are stupid.
That they
He's
were
going to
not
wear
good.
them for 10 minutes and then be like, why am I not flying? Like these things are supposed to make me fly. Like trampolines on your feet, but not as
Yeah.
effective.
But not
Yeah.
good. Like
Yeah.
that's the idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was, and then we're all proud of they did such a good job, but they didn't make it. Oh, that is like, it's a hard end.
I was like,
yeah,
dang.
yeah, it's a hard end, and it's like, well, we're out.
Well,
Okay.
it's you don't have a lot of time on TV. You know, you gotta make room to advertise Captain Crunch and stuff. So you gotta
True.
just move. And fun fact
and,
about
and
this.
Melody pops when you're trying to
Melody
or
Pop.
saving bonds on them.
So those advertisements still work because I did watch this with my son. Me and my wife were like, we're gonna watch Legends of the Hidden Temple. You need to come experience this with us. He was unfazed because it turns on. He's like, "This looks old." And I'm like, calm down, young child. This is
Listen.
scary."
We had styrofoam and we liked it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want.
Yeah, we
this
did.
this was the best. But we watched the little advertisements and they showed the Melody Pops. He goes, "Do they still have Melody Pops? I'd like a Melody Pop." We're like, "No, Sam. There's no more Melody Pops.
They did work though.
They're stupid." But
That
yes.
was
Mhm.
that was a product that was advertised that did make an annoying whistle for a little while.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stephanie told him they did work. I had one. I was like, "I didn't have a Melody Pop. You must have been one of those lucky kids with Melody Pops."
Mhm.
I don't remember
Mhm.
those. But yeah, my kid was immediately attracted to the advertisement. So now I know why Nickelodeon works. Because every
Oh,
commercial,
yeah.
my kid's like, "Ooh, that looks cool."
I don't want to alarm anyone, but they absolutely still make Melody Pops.
Do they really?
They are available on Amazon right now.
All right, I'll go
There
find
you
some.
I
gotta
bet
hook
the
him
Rocket
up.
Fizz downtown probably has those.
Ooh, yeah.
I should
Rocket
look.
Fizz, they got everything.
Oh,
They
yeah.
sell
Yeah.
they sell Balls energy drink at Rocket Fizz.
I know.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So yeah, no, you
yeah.
can still. So this part we can still make that happen.
My
They will not give
dreams.
you a $50 savings bond though.
No.
Can you still get savings bond? I assume you can. I assume it's digital.
Yeah,
I
you
think
can
there's
still
different
buy.
versions now.
Yeah,
Mm.
you can buy a bond. It takes 50 in order to defeat the temple. I did the math with my calculator here.
Yeah.
You have to spend no more than 15 seconds per room, which sounds like a lot of time till you're like climbing to the room and then like
Yeah.
you're
Yep.
getting in there.
Trudging through a foam pit of that room.
Yeah, and these
Yeah.
jokers didn't go up the stairs like they said to do at the dang beginning. They said,
No.
Okay,
run in the
thank
temple,
you.
go up the stairs. And both the kids went down the dumb tunnel and had to climb into a trap door. Like you weren't even paying attention. How did you get
I
past the
thought-
steps of knowledge?
I thought I misheard it
Yeah.
when she took off
Yeah.
and started going down that tunnel. Like, didn't he say something about stairs?
Yeah.
Whatever.
The
Yeah,
She
she
knows what
legends
she's doing.
the Legends of the Hidden Temple wiki does say that this is one of the few episodes in season 3 where a team enters Olmec's temple through the ledges. That's usually how you get out,
Yeah.
if
Right.
memory serves.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As you're like, you got to go through
Because
the
he
ledges
explained
and
it
then you're
at
out.
the end. That's where you
Yeah.
go to get out.
Yeah. Quit doing stupid stuff. Listen to the rules. Just go. And then the kid didn't even break the first pot he picked up. He dropped it gently on the floor. And had to go
Mhm.
back and break it again. And that was the one with the thing in it. Like,
Mhm.
you're wasting so much time. They could do this show again with adults. Like, I mean, put us four in there. We could crush it. I'm convinced. We make the
So-
hallways a little bigger. But other than that, we got this.
In the 2021 revival.
Oh my gosh, it was that recent?
Wow.
Each episode lasts a full hour rather than a half hour. Each episode features 4 teams of adults. Confessionals occur during the first 3 rounds because we remember how good Survivor was in the beginning. I did love Survivor in the beginning when I was
Oh,
in
my
college.
wife still watches it.
It was
She's
real good.
into it completely.
First 3 teams to cross the moat advance to the Steps of Knowledge. The episode's featured legend is now told more extensively in separate parts before each round instead of just before the Steps of Knowledge. 2 temple games, each played for a full pendant, with both teammates playing. The 2 teams compete head-to-head in one game, while one is a time challenge. Olmec reveals the location of the artifact before the temple run instead of the Steps of Knowledge. Temple consists of 11 rooms instead of 12, and the rooms are much larger because it's grown-ups. Temple guards often appear after the contestant finishes the room's objective instead of right when the player enters the room. Teams have 4 minutes rather than 3 to complete the temple run in a redesigned temple. The winning team receives $2,500 just for entering the temple, which is increased to $10,000 if they reach the artifact and to $25,000 if they exit the temple before time expires.
Wow.
That is better than a Huffy bike.
It is.
Marginally, but I'll take it.
You can get like a couple Huffy bikes.
You're right.
Yeah.
I get 1 or 2.
You might even be able to get a Schwinn.
Oh,
Well,
now
let's
we're
not.
talking. Now we're talking. So this is recent. This is adult. So basically, what they're saying is, all you
Was they
idiots
took
who
all of us that said you could do this when you were a kid? Yeah,
That's
all
it.
right,
Yeah.
let's go.
yeah,
Put up or shut up.
Mhm.
it's time
Yeah.
to go.
Or
Okay.
it's they found all the kids that never got past the moat and like, okay, here's your chance to redeem yourself.
Who's not
even better.
who's not emotionally scarred. So yeah, there are several kids that did get to the temple. That as adults are like, yeah, I'm not okay. Which is terrible and sad and but also a little bit funny. I mean, it would have broken me. It
Oh yeah,
absolutely would have.
I would have had memories turned into trauma and then be dealing with it. I reached my hand in that tree and it snatched me.
Yeah.
Could never put
I
my
stood in
hands
the
in
armor
anything.
and I pulled the thing and then it spun around and
I thought I was
yeah.
gone forever.
Yeah.
I'd never see my mom again.
Yeah. Exactly.
All because I
So
listened to a talking stone face made out of foam
yeah.
rubber.
And a guy dressed all in
apparently
denim.
apparently the temple guards were one of the creator's cousins.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Nepotism,
like,
of course.
helps.
Yeah. You know, that's fine. No problem. Yeah, the cultural appropriation part is weird. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know how to deal with it at all.
It was, man, this is why we do this show, because you look back and you go, nah, this probably wouldn't fly quite as well.
I mean, it's not great, but also like it's not terrible either. Like it's not
Sure.
No,
like,
it
I
could
don't
be
know how to
much
feel.
worse.
It could
It's
be
not-
a lot
it-
worse.
Yeah, I mean, it's never played for laughs. It's never
Yeah.
poked fun at. It's just a backdrop, a motif that they went
Yeah.
with was that. And I don't know if Olmec was completely made up or based on actual legend from Mayan culture or what. That could obviously make a difference,
Sure.
but
They
it
probably
wasn't
didn't.
terrible. Like we've
No.
definitely seen worse doing this show
Oh
than this.
yeah.
Mhm.
I do find it interesting that we've covered 4 game shows, and like Classic Concentration was a like a revamp of an old game show. We've had new versions of American Gladiators and Legends of the Hidden Temple,
Yeah.
and even Carmen Sandiego had a sequel version of it and is still going. There's still stuff going on with that today. Like these game shows really get into people's heads and kind of stay there.
I
they
figured
do.
I figured it out. I googled. So the Olmec were the first major civilization in Mexico.
Ah,
And they did
Oh.
carve giant stone heads. And the name Olmec is a Nahuatl, which is an Aztec language word, and it means the rubber people. Which, given that he's a foam rubber head, is actually
That's
also kind of great.
It's pretty
That's
fitting.
So
okay.
there we go.
All right.
okay.
So yeah, the
Detective work.
Olmecs, they are known as the
Mhm.
Olmecs, and they're these 3 giant stone heads. So okay, we've
Alright.
done the
Alright.
research.
I also
Someone
have
at
to say,
Nickelodeon
like,
did.
Yeah.
with this episode, the whole golden spider web of Robert the Bruce, I was like, man, they're just pulling stuff from everywhere to get
Yeah.
it together. And then I was looking it up just now, like, no, that's Stephen, it's an actual legend that a spider inspired Robert the Bruce.
All right. We are learning
But it's
things
still-
on TV.
Look at
It's still funny to me that
thing.
it's brought into this Mayan atmosphere.
Yeah.
yeah, that part.
How did it get there?
Mhm.
Why are so many
Carmen Sandiego
ancient things?
stole it and dropped it off in the
Yes,
temple.
There we go.
This is
That's
Carmen
where she hides
Sandiego
everything.
cash.
She and Olmec are in cahoots.
Every time she comes back, there's something's missing. She's like, "What is going on?" Oh, I challenged children to come in and steal it. Like, wait, what? These are our
No,
treasures,
her-
Olmec.
Yeah, her and Olmec are in cahoots because he is definitely a better sidekick than literally any of her henchmen.
Mhm.
They are not
It's
good.
true.
Yeah.
True.
Also, so I had no idea that there was a TV movie of Legends of the Hidden Temple, and then I
Mhm.
looked,
Mhm.
and sure enough, Kirk Fogg is in it as
Yep.
Yes.
Kirk Fogg,
Yeah.
Nice.
So-
and there's a picture of him standing there, and he's got the microphone, the leather microphone holster with the
Yes.
microphone in
I
it.
forgot that. That was the
Oh
best
my
part.
gosh.
Oh my god. So he comes in on the thing, which I later realized I'd watched a few episodes and I was like, he's real consistent on that swing in. And I'm like, you idiot, he did it once because like you can see like there's a very clear cut because he's like, and hello to you, Olmec. What are we doing today? And then it cuts to Olmec. Obviously. But I was like, he's real good at that.
That's
He
amazing.
just doesn't want
I
something.
watched the trailer and then a review of the movie. And the review was I can't remember his name. Goes by Black Nerd on
Oh,
YouTube.
yeah. I know who
So
you're talking about.
he watched it. Apparently it's like filled with all kinds of things from the games. Like there are animals of every color that the teams are in the movie.
Nice.
You find there's definitely an Olmec, there's definitely like the steps of knowledge somehow. Um like he said it was full of this. And it's funny, apparently the setting is a tourist area set up around the temple that somehow nobody gets into except these three kids for the movie.
Nice.
And Kirk Fogg is like runs um the place, and like he just comes in, swings in, does the microphone thing and everything.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is apparently watchable.
All
It is.
right.
It is very much
apparently. It is
it's very
1
much
hour.
a Nickelodeon TV movie.
I'm in.
But
I like the Are You
yeah.
Afraid of the Dark
Yeah.
resurgence. It was pretty great. So I would watch this.
It was from 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. That was a long time ago.
But
But
also,
it was
like,
so far after the show.
20 years after the show was done.
Sure. Yeah. Wow. It's
Ugh.
bad when the remake
Like,
feels like a long time ago. You're like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm getting way
Yeah.
older now that the remake is not. It's
A
too
whopping
old for me.
65 minutes, baby.
That's I
I'm
watch
in.
that.
I'm
I'm doing
in.
it tomorrow.
I have 65. Yeah,
That's how long the new Power Rangers special is, so you could do it.
that's fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that
Works
one
for me.
though. I'm good. I'm good on Power Rangers.
So yeah, Legends of the Hidden Temple. How did I think we've covered how we feel about going back. I think we're all into it and also traumatized.
Yep. Into it and over it. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, however, get inspired to go watch Double Dare after watching this. So Stephanie and I watched Double Dare, and I was like, this is just the best. Double Dare. All it is, a Double Dare is a collection of games you would play in middle school at church. Like
Yeah.
you just put all the jelly beans in the cup with the claw machine. Like if you have any
Yeah.
experience with youth group style games, that is, I think they got all their ideas from watching Double Dare.
We did.
Cheap, probably. Look at Audie's like,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a camp counselor for many a summer, yeah. I mean, that's where you get ideas from.
Maybe that's why I wanted to do this show because I never went to summer camp. So
Mm.
maybe that was like the
Yeah.
allure, right?
In
It's
fact,
like,
one summer we did a whole thing themed around Legends of the Hidden Temple, and like people got to get a bunch of cardboard together and made a big giant Olmec to open up the games.
That's
It's
so
pretty wild.
cool.
I love it.
I
love
want to
everything
do
about
that.
it.
That's so great.
Fantastic. I don't know that we have that much more to add on Legends of the Hidden Temple. But that wraps up game shows. We'll come back because there's no
Yeah.
shortage of
Oh yeah.
really good old game shows
Mhm.
for us to
Mhm.
talk about.
But like
Um,
Legends of the Hidden Temple, credits.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah. End of show. Boom. Some was it consideration provided by Melody Pops.
Yeah, I'm going to buy
Yeah.
Huffy. In
BK
Carta
Knights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
BK
the only
Knight.
problem, right? So that's the only problem. Like, I'm happy that these shows are so accessible. Like, the Nickelodeon shows are so accessible, but they do, like, we get the in-show promotions, but they
Yeah.
do put all new commercials in, and that
Oh,
is
yeah.
a little sad, but that's
Mhm.
fine.
It's very
because
disappointing.
Melody Pops. So next week we start a new topic that you
Yeah,
all
we do.
voted for, and we did not think too hard about before we got into it. So it's gonna be an interesting one.
Yeah, this was my recommendation. Sorry.
Thanks
No,
for
it's
Audie.
fine. We didn't really plan out how this was gonna go, and then it got picked, and so we're winging it.
Yep.
That's
With
how we're
54,
doing it.
yeah, with 54.5% of the vote, it is recasting a character.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we are very likely going to be revisiting some shows that we have already visited for other reasons.
Mhm.
Because while there are quite a few of these options, there's also some really good ones that We have already visited the show, and that's okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
I mean, this
We're good.
entire theme concept comes around the theme of the other Darren,
Yeah,
from
exactly.
Bewitched. So we're going down some roads.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But Travis is up first. Travis,
Yes,
What
I
are we
am
doing?
going to do a show we haven't covered yet.
yeah.
But it is one of the granddaddies of sci-fi television. It's also one of the first shows to really embrace recasting a lead character. We are going to watch the final serial from season 18 of Doctor Who. It's called Logopolis, and it is the final 4-episode arc involving my favorite Doctor, number 4, Tom Baker, and his regeneration into the fifth Doctor. So that's what we are going to be watching. It is available on BritBox streaming. You can buy it on Apple, I believe, and we'll try to find some other possible means to see it. But Doctor Who was one that kind of, I don't want to say pioneered recasting, but it became a part of the show. We'll
He
talk about it.
embraced it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's how we're going to start off recast month is
Very
with Doctor
exciting.
Doctor Who,
classic
all right.
Doctor Who.
Classic. That's very exciting. I'm excited about this. So until next week and Doctor Who, for myself, for Stephen, for Audie, for Travis, and for Olmec, this has been Those Were the Days. Brought to you by Melody Pops.
BK Nights. Wear them on your feet.
Feed bicycle.
Hey, wow, we're not Walkman, but we want to be.
I definitely had an Iowa.
Oh, that's so good.
An Iowa brand Walkman at some point.
Nice.
Portable cassette player.
Right.